Hi all, welcome back to more Carry Battle Philippine Sea. This is my part 4. Yeah, part 4, I think. And yeah, I left it at a bit of a daft place, didn't I? We were sort of in the middle of things. But I don't know, I must have got talking a bit more than normal. And the video dragged on a bit. We're at the activation segment and we are still drawing what is it? Sequence chits. So that's where we're at. And we just drew the US subs. Yeah, and that took me a little while to look into that. Probably mainly because I haven't read the rules about subs. And it does say this mission you need to have read up to rule 15. 15 is just the victory conditions, right enough, but I want to say that the commitment, which is rule 13, and the submarines, which is rule 14, and you know what, actually the damage bit I don't think I read either. I know we looked at that recently because it was involved in, yeah, so to be honest, if I looked on my tablet I would see where I'd read up to, but yeah, I should have read into them, but I wanted to get started, you know. I've done that example of play, and I wanted to get it going, really. And yeah, it's been good up to now. I'm looking forward to more at the moment. I feel like things are going to start happening soon. Okay, we did get something. We've got this guy. Now, how to put these counters, I'm not really that sure. So we've got Force C. He's marked with a carrier, so he's a level 1 now, rather than a level 0. And we're shadowing him with this sub albacore. Albacore? Yeah. So I'll just stack them like that. I don't really know what's best to put on top, to be honest, but hopefully... well, I need to go hunting for 4C when it comes out the cup, when we draw the chit, so... Okay, and talking about drawing chits, well, we've drawn Force D and US subs for this second phase. Yeah, and I'm going to track, rather than move the forces about, because I realised that the modifier die rolls, once I read that comment, I'll keep track of what the die rolls are. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a 2 for the first phase. So I've got that set aside, and once we're finished with this phase, I'll set that 5 aside, and then... you know, just to remind that then we can go back and look and see, because like I say, I'm stacking the 4, there's the 4 first chits that we drew, so they're all going to have moved with the movement mission number 2 that we rolled, and then these are going to have moved with 5, and then whatever, you know, so it'll help me track it if it happens to be an issue. Okay, so 2 chits to draw, that's where we're at. Let's draw the chits. Let's draw the next one. Right, US move. So probably not again. And again, remember, we could start breaking off task groups and moving them. I don't really see anything that I would need to do that for. I mean, I kind of want, in some ways, want them to... Well, I don't want them to launch in raids, I suppose, but... when they do it, at least it means that we're going to find out something about them, and yeah, I don't know. Like I say, first real time playing the game, not really going to know what the best things I'm looking for, to be honest. So I don't think we're going to move the task force again. I don't see the real urge to do that. So we'll just set that aside and draw the last chit of action phase 2. There we go. We've got another force, it's Force B. Bravo. There's Bravo. Up there. So, actually I think he's in range, isn't he? Yeah, I think we looked before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he is in range. So let's get the chart out that we need. Well, Yeah, I was looking through some different ones recently, wasn't it? I think it's this card 2. Yeah, card 2. So it's 650 turn, and so there's a -2. The maximum range is 8. We're bang on the 8, so it's a -2 there, and obviously it's not adjusted there. And these don't apply. So we're going to roll with a -2, and we need a 5 or greater, or he needs a 5 or greater to launch a raid. Right, it's a 3 then, so 3 -2 is 1, so not going to happen. Okay. Oops. So the movement number was 5. B is in this section here. There's a compass. 1 to 5 is southeast, so he's going to move in there. Which is fine. Yeah. Okay, and that's force B. That's the 4th chit drawn. So then we can move on to the next segment. So that's going to be, yeah, we've drawn all the chits. So we're moving down, so US air movement segment, move air missions. So we do have something to do there. Yeah, there's nothing else that we passed there. Okay. So, yeah, again, we've only got the 1 air mission up. Intercept mission 1. Starting to wonder if I'm missing something here. It's not an awful lot happening, so it does make me wonder. I did release part 1, but I've had a good bit of time today, so like I said, this is me recording part 4. I mean, I probably should just chuck the other parts out there. I've just got this habit of wanting to watch things back, but I feel like this is a game that, you know, it might not matter if I get things... Well, it does matter to me if I get things wrong, but I think I'm going to get things wrong, that's the thing. And it might be better just to chuck the videos out there without trying to watch them back, because it takes time to watch them back, obviously. Okay, Intercept mission 1, and then we've got the cap mission that could get released, but again, I don't see the point. So I think all we're going to do is leave. I think we can still leave Intercept mission 1 there. So that's going to flip over to the other side now. It's going to spend 1 fuel down to 9. We are going to get the Guam chit, so in the next 2 phases. So it does seem worthwhile at least keeping it there this turn. As we go into the next turn, I'll have burnt another 2 points of fuel, so it'll be down to 7. I don't know. I think it's possibly still worth... Well, actually, there's a point, Grant. Should we consider releasing the cap mission? So if we did that now, would we be able to move it? I'm just wondering about heading it down to like take over, sort of relieve this guy so he can come back and land. But I'm not sure we're there yet, are we? Yeah, I mean, he needs 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 to land. That's 5 fuel he needs from the hex. If we do it, you know, if we just... Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 to land would be 5 fuel. However, he's going to sit there. We're talking about sitting there to the end of this turn. So it's another 2, that's 7 fuel. And he's got 9. So it works. I mean, unless we have to be involved in combat. But if we're involved in combat, then that's a different thing. Eh? Yeah, so I'll leave him there in the night, and I won't release the cap mission just yet. I might think about doing that so that the cap mission can arrive in time to let him go back. so that we've got the Guam hex covered. That seems to make sense, doesn't it? So to stop the Guam raid, I was thinking about the fact that they only, in the example I played, they only put 3 aircraft into that to get down there, and it's maybe more to stop it from coming out rather than to. But then, like I said to you, you had to draw the chit in the 4th phase, which was a bit of a gamble. But at least if you got something down there, then you can attack it and at least hopefully try and do something to it before it reaches the hex, and then hopefully your anti-aircraft takes care of the rest. But if not, then, well, you might have to suffer the consequences. I mean, that example I played, the dice rolls were a bit ridiculous at times. So, but that was mainly just to show you worst case scenarios, I suppose. Right, anyway, Grant, you're going on a bit. Where are we? Yeah, US air movement. Right, well, I've done that. We've spent the fuel. Okay. We can't search. We've done that already. So air operations. Yeah, maybe not. We did move with. Did we not take off or something? I don't know, we've dealt with that already. I think we took. Yeah, it was the other search plane, wasn't it? And we've filled that space. I don't think there's anything we can do, is there? No. There's no spaces anywhere, really. Well, unless we want to create another air mission, or a cat mission. We could create another cat mission, I suppose. Nah, I don't think so. No, I'm not going to do that. So we're just going to move on. Not going to launch, not going to do anything in the air operations. There's no combat anywhere, no Japanese attack segment, no US attack segment. So right down to advance the phase marker, we're on to phase 3. And then right back up to move all air raids. Still don't have any air raids. So then activation segment, we're going to roll for mission movement and then start drawing some sequence chits for phase 3. Yeah, so take that 5 away and mark that as the second phase, and we'll just get another dice ready. And I'm going to roll to see what the mission movement is. I've rolled a 2 again. And there's another dice to take the place phase 3, just to track it a little bit. So what did I say? We rolled a 2. We're going to draw sequence chits. Right, so 4 more chits. Here we go. Right, another force. It's Force J, Juliet. Right, sorry, interruption. Yeah, Force J, Juliet. Okay. Where is that one about? Oh, it's right down the bottom here. I don't think that's going to be within the 8, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No way. So we rolled a 2. So it's going to move northeast into there. So we do still have that. Hopefully that'll maybe search. No, I don't think I'll get that. What? I need to move 1 more hex, I think. I don't think I'm going to get that guy either. Yeah, maybe it was a rubbish idea of sending one down this way, but I think you've got to try though, eh? Okay, that's the first chit drawn. Okay, so moving on to the second one. Doesn't it feel like there's that many in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, yeah, there is. There's still 7. Just doesn't seem there's that many. But there's still 7 chits. There's something about there because I had to be look to count them there. Right. Not that I would try and draw anything particular anyway. It's another force. India. I. Where is that? That's way up the top. It's up there. So, or maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he does have the 8 range again. So same same story, where -2 needs a 5 or greater. So bring this down here. This is for the raid. Yeah. Okay, 9 -2 is 7. That is a 5 or greater. Okay, so yeah, so that was a die roll, so it's 10.1 in it. So now we draw the chit, don't we? Level 1 chit. Yeah, we checked the range. We've rolled the die, applied the modifiers, and it'll either be launch attack or not. So that is the case. So yeah, so then we move on and we've got to draw a chit. And if it turns out to be anything other than a carrier chit, it doesn't do anything, does it? Right, okay, so a level 1 chit. This is for Force I, India. Okay, see if we can get something this time. Yes, carrier. So that is going to stay with that. So I'm just going to put that on top. I'll zoom in a little bit there. So if it was a level 0 force, first draw level 1 intelligence chit. We've drawn that. If this is a carrier force chit, continue to step D. You now have a level 1 carrier force. Right. So whereas before we didn't get past this bit because we either drew a... Well, actually, I don't know if we did draw a false contact, but we drew a surface chit, didn't we? So that just gets chucked back in and you forget about it. However, we did draw a chit, carrier force chit this time, so continue to step D. So that's here. Scenario 6 and after, where we are, compute known air strength or air value. In scenario 5, the air strength is specified by scenario rules. Right, so we're not doing that, we are actually going to compute it. Level 1 to 2 forces, so that's what that is now, it's a level 1 carrier, have a known air strength, which is the sum of all air points on the Butai display, including lost unavailable points. If there are no air points on the display, the strength is unknown. Level 1 to 2 forces have a known air strength, which is sum of all. Why is it telling me this? I think I need to move on to E, because E looks below like it's determining the strength of the raid. It's just giving the information that you need to have some knowledge of. Have a known air strength, which is the sum of all air points on the Butai display, including lost or unavailable points. If there are no air points on the display, the strength is unknown. Okay. So further down here, see, I know that glare's just really coming in now, isn't it? I don't know why. Or is it? Am I just imagining it's there? No, it is there, isn't it? It's difficult to see from there. I think that's out of the way. Yeah, because down here, so it says determine the strength of the raid. So it says there are 3 air raid strength tables, level 1 to 2 forces, known air strength. So I think this is giving you the information that if there are no air points on the display, which is what we are at the moment, so we don't have a known air strength. The strength is unknown. And so there are 3 air raid strength tables. 1 to 2 forces, known air strength, right? Which is not what we are. However, 1 to 2 forces, unknown air strength. So I think this is what we want. So card 2 back. Card 2 back. Oh, I should be able to just put it there. On this table, you cross-reference the force type, level 1 carrier, etc. with a die roll. This table is used only in the full battle scenario, scenario 6 and after. Okay. I think this is... Right, need to zoom out a bit, Grant. It's the one in the middle there, isn't it? Yeah, unknown air strength. You see the one at the bottom there is known air strength. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure how this one would come about. You know what? Well, I'm sure we'll get to it. I think we're following the right table here. Now, I have went through this training scenario, but I just can't remember how it all panned out. Do you remember being on this chart, Grant? I think so. So this is the unknown air strength. So we're going to roll a die. There's no modifier. And we're looking down the L1 carrier. And this will tell us the strength of this raid. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what we're looking for. So let's roll a die and see what we get. I think the lower the better for me. 6. Excuse me. Well, something in between. A bit too high for my liking. But L1 carrier at a 6. So it's an 8. So that's going to be the strength of this raid. 10.1E. Okay. So just looking through the rest of the section, and this is the tough, that's kind of tough bit, this Rule 10. Rule 10, the air raid procedure. It's maybe just because it's on a lot, but we've been through it. We went through A and B, and A was a yes, and then B turned out to be a yes because we rolled the dice. Then we looked at C, we found out, we drew a chit, it was a carrier force. So we were able to then jump to D. D kind of baffled me a little bit, but it did sort of say there, if there are no air points on the display, which is the case, the strength is unknown. Then we moved to E, and then it's got different tables to check if the strength is unknown or known. This is the one that we looked at. We rolled, we've got a total of 8. Then we follow through F as scenario 6.5, the reduced raid strength for points lost or unavailable. Well, that would have to be if you had some points already, which we didn't. And then we're on G. So this is when we place air point counters in the air raid box. So I think this is where I'm at now. We've got 8 points, and this is naval. So I'm going to have some change, I think. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Right. There they are. So select an available air raid box on the Butai display for this force and place air points in the box. For raids with 2 waves, you use both boxes because there's an A and a B. So we're going to be looking for 1A air raid. That's there. So that should be that. Remember that if there was already a raid in play for this force, the 2 waves are combined into 1. Okay. There are no separate Japanese fighter and attack plane counters. There are just generic naval, air and land air counters and point denominations like change. Each air raid box has a fighter section and attack plane section. These will hold air points known to be of those types. When a raid is first launched, you do not know how many of its points are fighters and how many are attack planes. Simply put, the counters represent the total strength of the raid on the boundary line between the fighter and attack plane box. You determine the exact number of attack planes and fighters when the raid is first contacted by US fighters or if never contacted by fighters, then when it reaches its target as follows. And then there's a procedure to deal with that. Okay. So we've got Butai display 1. I'm just going to pile these up. This is 8 points worth of naval air strength. And it's going in between both of them because we don't know yet. Do we not get a Butai marker here then when we do this? I feel like we do. But I've still not read anything regarding that. No, okay, maybe we don't as of yet. Well, I think we're now moving on to 10.21 here. Yeah. After raid has been generated and its strength, composition and target determined, the raid is placed on the map using this procedure. Roll 1 die and consult the intercept range table, curve 1 front, applying die roll modifiers listed. The result shows the range of intercept. So card 1 front. Okay, things starting to happen now for sure. The raid will be placed at the specified distance from the target. Count along a direct line from source to target. Note the source is the force which wants to strike. The target is the target US force as determined 10.1b. In case of ambiguity, prefer a hex containing no US aircraft. If there's still ambiguity, resolve randomly. So yeah, I had a little issue with that before because I thought there was different sort of options, and it was weird. It randomised the very first time we looked at this. It randomised what hex, and then within the example I play anyway, and then afterwards it didn't really bother about that. But it might have just been that it was just wanting to move along with things. I don't know. Right. Okay, and then. Carrying on, the air raid counter represents the planes in the raid. Only the raid counter is placed on the map, not the planes. Once placed, the raid moves as a unitary whole. Japanese air units never transfer from one raid to another, nor do raids split up or combine. A raid moves 2 hexes per Japanese air movement segment. US units do not affect this movement. The raid moves directly to its target task group along a straight line from source to target. If there is a choice of 2 hexes equally along the straight line, pick randomly. So there it's not differentiating between hexes that have got US aircraft, interestingly. And then just finishing off with this part. It's a bit of a mouthful of all this. Note that the Japanese air movement segment precedes the activation segment. Therefore, new raids which are placed during the activation segment do not move in the same action phase they are placed. Yeah, because the very first step is move all air raids, so they're not gonna move, but they are going to be placed a lot closer than we'd like them. Well, depending on our dice roll, I suppose. When a force launches a pair of raids as a first and second wave, the first wave is placed according to 10.21. The second one is placed 2 hexes behind the first wave, counting back towards originating forces by the most direct path. Both waves are placed on the map immediately. And I think that's what happened in the sequence, the example I play. There was 2 raids turned up. Okay, and then the next bit's talking about air raid return, so we don't really need to go there. So let us roll on intercept range table. There we are. So yeah, I can put it up a little bit. So we've got only 2 modifiers, dusk and 24.2, which what is 24.2? Right, they are additional variants anyway, so yeah, I've got enough on my plate really. Less effective interception. Okay, so we're not going to have that. So yeah, no modifiers then. There's no dusk, there's no that rule. We're not in Guam. So yeah, so I'm gonna roll the dice on a 10. And I want to say the higher the better for me here. Yeah, the higher the better. Oh yuck. Right. That's a 2, so that's not good then. Maybe we wish we had to get that cat mission up. Well, it's be coming up next time anyway, I think. Right, so we rolled a 2, so between a 2 and a 5. Well, I suppose it could have been worse, or 1 was 1 hex closer. So a 2 and a 5, the range is going to be 3. So that's where it's going to be from our task force. Yeah, I was starting to wonder how you mark that, but I seem to remember in the sequence, in the example of play, what they done was they put this L1 carrier up into the... Because it's on the Butai display, but we're not. There's nothing told me to put a Butai marker in play here. Okay, I know you all know. You people that know the game know when that happens, but I remember doing it in one. I think was it in the example of play. Can't remember, but I felt like I should have been doing it there, but it doesn't seem that's the case. So it's just, how do we know that raid is that? I don't know. How do you differentiate? If we had more than one right now, right, if we had, right, just swinging across to the Butais there, if we had another raid coming from Butai 3, how would we know which one was which? This had an L1 carrier, let's say it was Force F and it had an L1 carrier. How would you know that? I know we're marking, that's how you know it, Grant. Well, no, you don't, that's not true. Because this is Air Raid 1A, I was thinking it was the Air Raid marker, right? But there's an Air Raid 1A and a 1B for each Butai, so this is Butai 1, Air Raid 1A. But there's nothing to say that I have to put any Butai marker on. So yeah, I think I don't know, maybe I'm missing something simple, but you can see I think you can see what I'm asking there. If these were both L1 carriers, like if you draw another chit now and it turns out that Force F activates, generates a raid, gets an L1 carrier counter, and then let's just say it draws and it only has 7 air counters in it, and then we put Air Raid 1, it'd be Air Raid 1A for it as well. So something missing there, isn't there? Okay, well, we'll worry about it if it happens. It's unlikely to happen, I know. Maybe that's what's not really the issue. Right, so I'm going to be 3 hexes away from this. So from there, this is when we spotted this air raid. 1, 2, 3. So, no, I'm not going to turn it round. I mean, it's going for Task Force 58. So it could go... Well, it could go here or here. Well, to be honest, it can actually go here. I think if it's a straight line, that's the hex I'm looking at, isn't it? And does it matter? There's no air forces. That's the hex that's straighter. That doesn't look straight, and that doesn't look straight. So we'll go with that. I don't think it makes such a big deal anyway. Okay, so problems now for us. But they don't move. That's them. They've appeared there. They will move in the next air raids. Move all air raids. So I think our air operations segment is going to... Some things are going to happen. For sure. Yeah, I just realised that is a problem, because it says when this moves next, it's going to move 2 towards our task force. So I'm going to know that it's going to land, it's going to either be in this hex or this hex, but that's a random decision. So I can't... Well, it doesn't matter, Grant. As long as you've got your flights launched on sitting in the hex, then when it moves into one of these hexes, you then move in and try and do something about it. Because we can't reach it because it's 3 hexes away. Okay. So that's resolved their raid procedure. We are going to move the force 1 hex as well. Is that where we're at? I think so. So the die roll was a 2. A 2 is going to be southwest with this one. So it's going to move down to there. And that'll be that. Yeah. So, well, yeah, you still got 2 more chits to draw, Grant. So that's the second of the chit draws. So 2 more to come. So let's zoom back out and draw the next one. Right, force E, force echo. Okay, he's the one that's way along here beside that search marker. He's not going to be 8 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's going to move with a 2 based on this compass, which is going to be northeast. He's going to move into there. And that's going to be that. Now we've got 1 more chit to draw before the end of this phase. Well, before we can move on. And it's a no-op. Okay, so the Guam chits stay into the last phase again. There you go. Okay, so moving past everything else now, we've done everything. We're now moving to the US Air Movement segment, move air missions. So now we might want to consider this cat mission. Well, I know we're going to launch some air missions for sure, because we need to try and deal with that raid. I think if I'm calculating things right here, I don't want to put this cat mission up. Yeah, no, I don't, because I can always do it in the next phase. In the next phase, this air raid marker is going to be here or here. So then I'm going to be able to put my cat mission out and then move it into the hex. However, we're going to have some other air missions launched as well. So I'm not going to move... Oh, actually, sorry. I do need to deal with this guy, don't I? So again, we're going to spend... Yeah, because the Guam chit's going to come out, so I'm not going to... I'm going to stay there and spend 1 fuel. He's down to 8. 8 left. He's just going to loiter there. I'm going to move that dice, and that's going to be the dice for phase 3. And yeah, so we've adjusted the fuel. We can't do any search. So air operations, right? We're going to get some missions out now, and they're going to be quite happy just to sit in the hex. I'm not going to move them. Well, when I launch them at first, you can only move them 1 hex. Yeah, and I got to this one before. If I launch them, if I launch them and move them 1 hex, I know I need to spend 1 fuel. If I launch them and I don't move them at all, am I still having to spend 1 fuel? I never really found the answer to that one, did I? I think the answer's no, but... Give me a second. Yeah, of course the problem is I'm looking at 6.24 launch, but it doesn't tell you there that you can move it 1 hex, does it? Which I think it's a little strange. Okay, I know it is air movement, but we're going back to a segment that we're not in, you know, to carry out an action we're allowed to do, which I find a little odd. US Air Mission Movement 4.4. 4.42, a mission which has just been launched can move 1 and only 1 hex at the cost of 1 fuel point at the same time it is launched. This is a special move occurring outside the US air movement segment. Okay, it tells you there it's outside the US air movement segment. I don't know, I just think some reference to it in 6.24 where it talks about being when it launches, but maybe not. I know it's a different sort of part, but that's when you have to do it. You can't do it in the air mission movement. You know, you can't launch it there. You've got to launch it in the launch part. I don't know. It's not 100% clear to me there. A mission which has just been launched can move 1 and only 1 hex at the cost of 1 fuel point. I get the feeling with the fact that says it like that. I think I'm going to be able to launch this, and it's not then going to cost me any. It's not going to cost me any fuel. It certainly doesn't suggest anything there. I know that if I spend a turn in the air movement segment and don't move, it costs me 1 fuel, but this is a different thing. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to look for a question or ask a question. That's going to be my decision. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, I think we need, whether I'm going to overdo this or not, it's quite possible. I'm going to launch intercept mission 2. No, we've got 2. 3. And intercept mission 3 is going to contain 6 F6Fs. I'm going to launch them from task group 58.2. And it's going to be air mission intercept 3. Right, so that's all 6 flights from that were on the deck at task group 58.2, and they're all F63s, so they've got 16 fuel. So I'm going to mark that 16. I'm not going to move them. Yeah, I'm not going to move them because next turn I'm going to move them into the hex. Yeah, it doesn't make... Yeah, because if I move them to there, then he might move to here. And he gets to move before I get the chance to move again. Yeah, okay. So I'm as well waiting on him. There's not any benefit. Not that I can see. And we know he's got 8 strength points. 8 naval air points. So I think we need more than that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a good one there. Let's also launch air mission intercept 4, and we're going to grab the 4 from task group 58.4. So intercept mission 4 is coming out, and that's the 4 F6Fs from task group 58.4 that were already on deck. And they're also going to start with 16 fuel. And again, I don't need to wake up my... Oh no, my cat mission doesn't wake up just now anyway. That's in the air movement segment, isn't it? So do I want any more than that then? We don't need any attack planes up. We still don't, even though we've got some information about this. This is an L1, this is an L1. It doesn't allow, we've not detected it. Is it detect? Is that the right word? I think so, yeah. In any way, we've not spotted it, or whatever the other options are. Spotted, what is it? Spotted, located, or partially located, or whatever it is. We've not done any of that, so we can't send fighter attack planes out there. Anyway, so that's got a strength. That's 2 air missions and 10 fighters, and we've got the cap as well. Do we need any more than that? 1, 2. I don't think so, but depends if you're going to use that. Are you going to use that cap as well, or you think you're happy with just 10? And remember, it's 2 different attacks. They're separately. They can still attack the same target, but they do it separately. So it'll be 6. Yeah, they've got 8. They've got 8 points, Grant. I think I want another one. I'm using up all my fighters though, I'm looking around, once they've all launched, it's like 1, 2, 3. I suppose I could do 4 there as well. Well, they can always land again, yeah, but you can see there being a bit of a challenge getting them landed and getting them back up, fueled and serviced and all that, back up. Right, okay, I'm going to do one more as well. So I'm going to do Air Mission Intercept 5. This is my counter. I got damaged last night. I spilled some of my beer on it, I think. So Intercept Mission 5, and I'm going to take that from this. Yeah. This, and this. Actually, I should really have marked. Okay, it's not going to be relevant, but I should try and get in the habit. These all launched, and these all launched, and this, and this launched. This one didn't. Okay, I don't have anything I'm going to land, I know, but if I get in the habit of doing that, then you could see how you could forget, I think. If you were wanting to land something, you'd be like, I'm not sure where I can land it, because I'm not sure where things took off from. Okay, so that is Air Mission 5, and I'm going to put them up there. Intercept Mission 5. And again, same again, their fuel is going to be 16. And that should be enough. Whether some of you are thinking that's overkill or it could well be. But let's just see. Where are we at? 47 minutes, yeah. That's a shame, because it's just getting into the sort of bit where I'm not going to be able to attack. It's going to have to be in the next phase, because we need to get things moved, but yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to leave that till the morning. Yeah, really? I don't want to do that. I want to have some action, because it's been quite a slow start, and now we've got something. Okay, well that was launch, and I think let's finish out the phase at least, Grant, and you can think about it if you want to stretch it. Yeah, and we do still have this cat mission as well, sitting up there if we feel the need for it. So do we want to move anything up from servicing to ready? Now we do have a raid coming in this time, so this is something, it's maybe something to think about, but I still feel that we've got to believe that we can repel that raid and get things moved up. I think you've got to keep cycling through these. I know there's dangers. I think this example of plays kind of scared me a little, the way it was talking about not doing it, and it kept things back. But like I say, they got some ridiculous die rolls. But okay, you could get that and suffer, but my feeling is I just want to move all these up. Well, if that's what you feel, Grant, let's just do it. The thing is, there's not any more fighters there. Well, we've got a couple back there though. See, as we can't shift them about. Well, You can put servicing back to hanger, can't you? I wouldn't be allowed to do that because these have only got a 1. Is that right? Where's the chart that tells you that one? Yeah, servicing. Well, no, because the hanger totals 3. Yeah, but their servicing totals 1. So I think as soon as I do that, I then can't. That's me using my servicing point, I think. Yeah, I think it is. Right, well, I'm going to move these up. These 2 F6 and that and that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to keep moving stuff up, I think. I'll find out the hard way. Okay, so all they go up. And here, yeah, 2 of them go up, 1 of them go up, and now I could put 1 more up in it there, couldn't I? Yeah, let's do that. And we've done that. So now, hanger to servicing then. Servicing already. Hanger to or from servicing. Yeah, I'm not sussed out, but the fact that I think it affects, I thought it was going to allow me to switch a unit out for a different unit, but I don't think I can do that. I think moving one out of servicing on a CVL, that's my limit to my move from servicing, so I can't then move something to it. I don't think so. How's the... yeah, okay, that's fine. 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure if I want to put the Night Fighter ones up. I might want to keep hold of them. Mind you, the last turn of the game is 1850, is it not? Which is the dusk turn, so maybe that doesn't matter. Well, we'll go with that. Yeah, I'm just pushing these up. And put 2 of these up. Well, in this case, I think I will put the F6F up, because there's a space for it. Move that guy up there, and then these, hang on. I'm going to hold back on these fighters, then I'll move the 2 TBFs up. Keep these guys back, move that up. Right, that's everything. Okay, and then with nothing that's on the flight deck to come back down to the hangar, and we're going to land. Air-to-air combat, no. Japanese air attack segment, no. US air attack segment, no. Okay, so advanced phase marker, that's us on to phase marker 4, and we're going to move all air raids. But I think I might have to leave it. Well, we're at 54 minutes and we're just moved on to a new phase, so it does seem more sensible to at least cut the video here. Whether I might come back, it is a bit late now, so I probably should just get up in the morning with a fresher head. I've still got a bit of time tomorrow to get another couple of parts in, I think, and then it'll start drying up a little. Yeah, and who knows, once I release the first couple of parts, well, I've released part 1, but once I release the next couple of parts, it might get flooded with, right, you've not done this right, you've not done that right, Grant. And because of the way I am, I try and fix these things and might have to rewind things and whatever. Okay, but it's good. Things are happening at last. We've got this L1, there's an L1 there. So we've got some little knowledge, although not spotted. We've got this area coming in from Forsyth there. And we're on to phase 4, and then obviously the next phase is going to move into the next turn. And I'd like to think that then some of my spotting planes might have done something, hopefully. We shall see. Right, I'll actually turn all the carriers back round now, Grant. Right, I'll get away for now, and more than likely be tomorrow morning when I get back. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen next, for sure. I'm quite enjoying it up to now, for sure. Yeah. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Cheers.